Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Business Spotlight, and my guest today is Chris Kourouniotis, who is principal of CK Design Associates. Thanks, Chris, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mario. Good morning.
Good morning, and hopefully I got your name right.
Oh, 100%. You nailed it. A lot of people just stop at the letter K.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the company. Tell us a little bit about the services that you offer and what sets you apart in the industry.
The company is CK Design. We're a licensed interior design firm under the Alberta Architects Association here in Alberta, with offices in Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver as a project office. Uh, Started the company back in 2008, September, and ever since been, putting out multiple commercial jobs right across Canada.
Okay, so let's look at some of the typical services and projects that you take on. And do you have any special area that you focus on, any special sector out there?
We do. So obviously, I said we specialize in commercial interior design. We are licensed, so we're a stamping firm. From the commercial market, we have grown and specialized in hospitality. So a good 80% of our work is in the hospitality world. The other 20 is typically retail and workspace, medical office, regular office, and or retail, which could be food, grocery, lots of cannabis and other retailers here in the Edmonton, Calgary market.
Okay, then talk a little bit about the hospitality.
Yeah.
Talk about, there's that's quite a wide range, right? Within the hospitality sector, like, did you do everything from high class, high end restaurants to quick service?
Definitely, we're known for all restaurants, but in the Alberta market, what really sets us apart is our multi-unit operators, and they seek us out as they know each other and they know that that's our specialty. We're now at about 2,000 plus operating restaurants under our belt, so we've become known as the multi-unit specialist right across Canada. So chains from Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, they seek us out to help them expand. So they're either coming in from America or a different country and they want to go cross Canada. They seek us out and know that giving us the portfolio, they will be able to be rest assured that we'll, knock it out of the park with their expansion and their rollout.
Well, let me ask you that, you talk about, focusing on Alberta and Calgary and Edmonton, but how much of your work is also beyond there that you actually go to some of those other?
We'll go wherever our chains will take us. Recently, Canadian Brewhouse took us to Ontario to do, I think it's 5 in total stores. Firehouse Subs is across Canada. They're out of Florida. I started when I was a kid. Before I got the white hair, I was with Dale Wishwan and Booster Juice, and those were across Canada. Extreme Pita was across Canada. So some brands stay in the Alberta market. And then others, like I said, more recently would be the Canadian Brewhouse, Original Joe's from Calgary, that group, Franworks, that's across Canada. So some brands just evolve and get out of just the parameters of the Alberta market.
Okay, now I'm a restaurant owner or maybe a retailer, Mario's Clothing. Okay, walk me through the process. I come to you and I say, hey, Chris, I want to open a store in Calgary. Walk me through the process of what you would do with me.
Process, I think what's after 27, 28 years in the business, what I've noticed is the big driver is the client's vision. So we very, very focused on what the client really wants. And I don't need another Chris K restaurant. So what I'm saying is if it's a Mario restaurant, it's going to be specifically Mario driven. And so the design, I guess the operation side of it, everything that you want seen in the restaurant is the driver. The other thing is when I bring my 2000 restaurant experience to your project, you're going to see it operationally excellent. So we're not practicing on your restaurant. And we see a lot of restaurants having issues with wrong space planning, multiple open spaces. Rent has gone through the roof in Calgary and Edmonton. And so what we're trying to do is maximize the efficiency of the space and use every extra inch. So that's the game plan we bring to you. So vision driven, operationally excellent. And last but not least, budgets seem to be out of control. Post-COVID, we've seen a very high increase in construction costs. So it's very unlikely that you'll see our group hand designing a chair, hand designing a light fixture. So what I mean by that is although those look great on my website and on my award-winning kind of experience, like putting it in for an award, it's at the cost of our clients. So we're very cognizant not to hand make a chair in Calgary. We're happy to specify a light in a chair from a catalog to save you that extra expense.
Now, Chris, in your career there, with the company, tell me a little bit about some of the bigger projects that you've been involved in, so maybe some of the most meaningful ones to you.
To me, these are really good question, actually. Meaningful is what's great. So Calgary has a keg, and that was a long-term kind of long period of chasing each other and knowing that one day we would kind of strike a deal and get a keg going. So you'll find the new keg in Signal Hill is our latest big project in Calgary. In Edmonton, during COVID, we opened Canada's largest sports bar, which is 5 levels of sports and entertainment down at the Ice District, and that's under the Canadian Brewhouse banner. A Canadian Ice House, a banquet. Those are all the banners that we're using downtown. So great client. More recently, a fun job was the rollout of Firehouse subs across Alberta. That's a Florida brand that we've had a lot of fun doing. We're seeing a lot of American brands come up post-COVID to the Edmonton and Calgary market. And so we're always happy to work with them to get them going and get them, established quickly and not the key is that they need to grab the real estate fast. So that's one of our specialties is the speed of rolling out these jobs and getting them permitted and open.
You know what? Something just occurred to me, and I'm
Sure.
curious. Everything, mentioned COVID, and a lot of things changed during COVID for the hospitality industry, right? And so a lot of, skip the dishes and that type of stuff,
Definitely.
a lot of takeout and delivery. Uh, what has that changed in any way with some of your concepts of a restaurant to accommodate that I guess trend?
Yeah, the trend seems to be sticking around. We thought, I mean, you notice ghost kitchens slow down a bit, but definitely the food delivery hasn't slowed down as much. The only thing I can take and share with you is we have start to build into the design of a QSR, a quick service restaurant or a takeout restaurant area for them to wait for their bag to be filled. The other issue is on the fine dining or the better restaurant, the mid level to high end, when the delivery drivers come in, it is a bit of a disruption to the restaurant and to the diners, either hearing the noise or hearing the phone calls, or even get a bag in the head accidentally. So we now need to kind of allow for that area for them to do their business and get the bags filled so they could leave. So that has been the only change to the design side. I don't think at this point there's any emphasis from my clientele to fight back on that.
Yeah. Um, Tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris. How did you get involved in this business and why?
Ah, what my history. So I'm 52 now. Where we started was probably from birth. My dad is a restaurateur here in the Alberta market. Uh, Being of Greek descent, a lot of our Greek family and my family specifically, all my uncles and aunts, they're all involved in the restaurant business. Typically in the Alberta and Saskatchewan market, that'd be a steak and pizza business or steak houses. So my dad had, I think he's opened 8 spaces himself during the 70s and into the 80s. So I got the restaurant bug, the hospitality bug, I think from my dad and mom. And when it came time to go to school, I moved out to Toronto, got my degree from Ryerson, which is now TMU. And then I think from that, I added the degree plus my restaurant bug, and I created a restaurant consulting firm here in the Alberta market, starting from Edmonton and then building ourselves into the Calgary market over the last 17 years.
Uh, do in terms of a degree?
I'm sorry.
What did you do in terms of a degree? What was it?
Degrees of BID, so Bachelor's of Interior Design from Toronto.
Okay, then. Okay.
And
Cu-
then from that, I got my license here in Alberta with the Alberta Architects.
I'm curious about the design aspect. Do you find restaurants are different depending on what city they're in? Like, so a Calgary restaurant may be a little different than an Edmonton or a Vancouver or Toronto restaurant.
They are if they're not chained. So if they're a chain, we try to keep them quite specific to what we want, what the mandate is of the brand. Now I will make regional changes. So you'll see a Starbucks or some of our other chains, they'll have different details to each location depending on the city. But generally, our chains like to look alike and like to have the same menu and the same look and feel. Where we're seeing a change and a different design aspect is Calgary, Edmonton. We find that per square foot, we're spending way more in Calgary. We have a much more competitive market in Calgary for a higher end restaurant. So that's where I will see a higher spend from our clients on lighting, furniture, and even the build out.
Yeah. So what was it for you as a company that uh, you know, you know, going from the beginning to where you are now? Like, what was
Yeah.
that the kind of hit the pavement running and that got you to the point that where you are now? Like, was there any like, big project or was it just a slow, steady growth?
I would say it was a slow, steady growth, but I didn't teach myself, so I always need to give credit where credit's due, Mario. So I definitely was mentored and brought up in three other firms. I did my 10, 11 years at these firms, not a jail term, but a work term. I think it's very important to combine your degree with experience from a big firm. I worked for Mike, uh, Marshall, and my last job was at Toneguzzi. So those three gentlemen were all able to give me a piece of their mind and a piece of their mentorship. And I've taken from those three gentlemen and built my brand in 2008. Of course, I launched this one. And I think it's important to kind of look back and see what you learned from them. As every job I do now, there's always a piece that reminds me of the days when I was their catter, their lackey, their coffee maker. Definitely, I'm like, I remember that. And it's always a lesson. You never forget the lessons you learn from your mentors.
Yeah, no doubt. And Chris, where do you see the company going and being in the next 5, 10 years?
Really good question. We've launched a secondary brand, which is called Grow Creek Hospitality. So that would be our procurement brand. That seems to be growing across Canada, which has been really fun and good to see other cities and other markets calling us to help them with their projects. Definitely, I see a growth out east. We've seen new projects in Ontario, one large project in Quebec. Vancouver is so-so, but definitely our chains are already there, so they're always bringing us in to do a job in the BC market. Definitely strong in the hospitality. Restaurants, I don't see a slowdown yet. And another uptick, and we're seeing that post-COVID, is our hotel renovation market. That's going to grow as post-COVID. They've delayed some of the renos, but now it looks like we all need to fix our hotels and bring them up to speed with our flag standards.
Interesting, huh? And last thing, Chris, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Best is to call me direct. I am still a hands-on design director here at my firm. My team does obviously a lot of the work we put out, but when it comes to that first call, initial call, or visioning, and or even the design directive of the brand and or of the project, I'm your guy. So 887-8252 is the best cell phone to call me. 780, of course, 887-8252. Reach out there, and of course, our website's always on at ckdesignassociates.com.